We outside. I have been alcohol free for consistently every single day for 4 years. And if I was to not count the times that I drank alcohol, then it would be almost 9 years that I've been alcohol free. Do you know that the word spirit in alchemy refers to a volatile substance? Random facts. I'm full of seemingly random information. That seems to have some purpose at some point, most of it. But when you look at the process of how alcohol is created, liquor, spirits are created, it's a very interesting process. And what's more interesting than the process is the terminology that they use to describe the process of creating alcohol, creating liquor, creating spirits. They refer to it as distillation process as extracting the essence. And there's a lot of spiritual terminology as it relates to the making of alcohol. I grew up in a culture where alcohol, liquor, was an integral part of just about everything that happened. So it is abnormal to not drink. But what I found was that most of the people around me and in my family that drank seemed to have a problem with it. It seemed to control their lives. The spirit of alcohol feeds the ego. It suppresses your intuition. I didn't know these things. When I became of age and started drinking, it was like a revelation to me. I felt alive. I felt that I could let loose. But really, it was extracting my spirit, extracting my essence. Unknowingly, every time I drank, I gave over control to my ego, and I further suppressed my spirit, further suppressed my intuition. I've seen people in my family died from heat stroke because of alcohol, heart disease, diabetes. It's all connected. So when I began and decided to become alcohol free, it was challenging to say the least. Mostly because of my environment and the people around me. Every activity, every relationship, and every interaction seemed to be centered around alcohol or drinking in some capacity. So it was very challenging in this environment to maintain sobriety. But I was doing it. And I was struggling at times. And I had a few moments where I would be triggered and I would drink something and then I would start over again. And it took a while of that cycle happening for me to get a grasp of it. And while that cycle would continue and would repeat itself, I would try to shape my environment to help increase the odds of my success. Meaning, I would try to not have alcohol in the house because of the access of it. But then I was with a partner who wanted to drink. They were okay with it. They seemed to be okay having one or two drinks and keeping it moving. But I wasn't that person. Having a drink for me at that time was as if it opened a gateway to spirits that were thirsty for it. And one drop was like giving a vampire a drop of blood. A young vampire a drop of blood. Uncontrollable. There's no stopping. I was like a bottomless pit. One drink, one drop, and I would lose all control. It's as if something took over me, because that's exactly what was happening. Spirits. The process of distilling alcohol is referred to as taking a spirit from one thing and transferring it to another thing, making it more powerful and potent. That's how alchemists describe the process of creating alcohol. So alcohol created an opening for my spirit, the essence of who I was, to be drained from me, to be stripped from me. I can recall being triggered and going through the house searching For every spot that I thought something could be hidden and drinking it. But I have the people that are living with me, the person that was living with me, telling me that I don't have a problem. And I'm telling them, no, this is a problem. This is a problem for me. Because no matter how much effort or intention I put towards this, I'm still struggling. It's still pulling me. It's calling me. But slowly and over time, with consistency and being okay with starting over again, I was able to maintain my sobriety. And I was able to, every time that I was triggered and would fall off track, I was able to discover something new that needed to be healed, that helped me to maintain my sobriety. Coming from a lineage of people who are spiritually tapped in and extremely powerful, and watching alcohol and drugs be used to suppress their potential, to suppress their intuition, to suppress their power, is a heartbreaking thing to see and to experience. This is not a PSA. This is not a judgment of anyone who chooses to partake in alcohol and to drink. This is not that. So if you're having feelings of shame or feeling like you're being preached to, then I suggest that you reflect on what that is triggering within you. So, for almost 4 years now, alcohol free. And I can say, without a shadow of a doubt, it's one of the best decisions I made for myself. One of the best choices I made was to not give up and to be okay with having as many day ones as it would take to reach this place today where I am. So if I can't have fun with you without drinking, then it ain't meant to be. If I feel so uncomfortable around you that I feel the craving or desire to drink, then it ain't meant to be. See, many people use relationships to justify drinking, social drinking. Social drinking. If I can't connect with you without alcohol, if that's the only way that we can be vulnerable, is that the only way that we can feel carefree and at ease in each other's company, then maybe there's something to rethink. Maybe there's something to rethink in this situation. I can't laugh with you without being inebriated, if I can't be lighthearted or feel free without alcohol, then it's a problem for me. But we live in a society where it's not a problem for most people. The bonds and connections I made with people over alcohol, over a beer, over a shot, over getting wasted and acting a damn fool. So now we got a crazy story to tell on each other. I don't have relationships with any of those people. Because it was centered around one thing that we refuse to acknowledge. So my life is not centered around one thing. My relationships don't hinge on us being able to have drinks together. But some people see me and they think to themselves, I can't have fun with that person. They don't drink. I can't hang out with them. All these things get put on me for the choices that I make for my life. I've been told that I was judging someone because they didn't drink, because they did drink and I didn't drink. And somehow I thought I was better than them. I have never in my life, not once, felt as if I was better than anyone. If anything, I've had more moments feeling lesser than ever feeling as if I'm better than anyone or above anyone. But that's the type of things that people will tell you when you make choices that are actually good for you, that are good for your spirit. That's the type of things that people will say in order to justify the choices that they make. And I'll be okay with that. So this was not really a channeled message. This was a sharing, because that's what I was called to do. Share my experience, some of my experience. There's so many stories to tell. But the most important story is that you can rise above, you can make it through. You can make the choices that will benefit your spirit and your growth. It's possible. It's not perfect, but it's possible. And that's the message. It is possible. And you have to make the choice. And every day, consciously or unconsciously, I make the choice to remain on this journey. No matter how challenging, no matter how lonely it may get at times, whether I have people cheering me on or telling me I'm judging them. It doesn't matter. It's okay to acknowledge that something is a problem for you, that it's difficult for you, that it's a challenge. It's okay to call it what it is and to work through it. I would have definitely, I have, and I would have, and I will refer to the past me as an alcoholic. And as a black woman, to say that out loud is powerful in itself, because it is not something that you see many black female-bodied people speaking on. African American women speaking on alcoholism. We're supposed to be above it. We're stronger than that. Right? Calling it what it is doesn't make you weak. That's the strength. That's the strength. The strength is in calling it what it is and being okay with that. And I'm okay with it. It's still something that we don't talk about in the community or in my family. No one talks about it. And we watch each other die in pain and in misery, in grief, suppressed, depressed, angst. We watch one another suffer. Because pride and ego won't allow us to call it what it is. Name it, call it what it is. And give yourself the opportunity to overcome it. Thank you for joining me. Take care.